Hello, BookTube. I have a few new releases that I want to show you, books that are either out now or forthcoming in the new year that I thought you might be interested in looking at, might be interested in making a mental note or putting them on a list of some kind. There's a wide variety here. We'll just go through them. The first one is classical. This is a new translation of 50 Letters of a Roman Stoic by Seneca. This is translated with introduction and commentary by Margaret Graver and A. A. Long. And I have a sheet for this. Fantastic. I don't know if this is a reprint. No, I don't think this is. I think this is just new. A paperback original that came out on December 7th. In the year 62, citing health issues, the Roman philosopher Seneca withdrew from public service and devoted his time to writing. His letters from this period offer a window into his experience as a landowner, a traveler through Rome and Italy, and a man coping with the onset of old age. They describe the roar of the arena, the festival of Saturnalia, the perils of the Adriatic Sea, and they explain his thoughts about political power, the treatment of slaves, the origin of civilization, and the key points of Stoic philosophy. And this is a selection of 50 of his letters, brings Seneca to readers in a fresh, modern voice, and shows how, as a philosopher, he speaks to our time. So we've got, this is classic, lots of publishers have reprinted this, but here we have a new translation with new commentary of 50 Letters of a Stoic by Seneca. What else do we have here? Okay, what is this? Here we go. Okay, something comes with its own, oh good lord, a media kit, I believe this would be. Oh my, well, I don't need all this. What have we got here? So this is for late February. This is by Kate Marchant, and it's called Float. And it's from something called Wattpad Books. What is Wattpad Books? I know what Wattpad is. I'm an ardent fan of Wattpad. Do they have their own publishing arm? Can you if you've got a serial going on Wattpad, can you get it published as a book? And soon to be a major motion picture. Good lord! All right, well, let's see if this tells us anything about. Get ready for your new favorite beach read. Float by Kate Marchant is a sweet YA romance, perfect for fans of Sarah Dessen and Jenny Han, that follows a fish-out-of-water Waverly over the course of one unforgettable summer. Stuck in the middle of her parents' messy divorce, Waverly is given no choice but to pack her bags and head to Holden, Florida, where she'll spend her break with her Aunt Rachel. A far cry from the White Mountains of Fairbanks, Alaska, Holden is all set sun, sand, and surf. Unable to swim, Waverly resigns herself to the worst summer ever. That is, of course, until she meets Blake. Boy next door Blake is handsome and moody, and also the same age as Waverly. Aunt Rachel figures he is the perfect person to introduce Waverly around town. A beach party that starts out as a way for Waverly to push her comfort zone ends in disaster as the partygoers drinking too much and she's left having to play caretaker to Blake. Though he's too proud to admit it, Blake is thankful for Waverly's help and soon brings her into his social circle. He doesn't even make too much fun of her when he discovers she can't swim. Instead, he offers to put his skills as a lifeguard to use and teach her. What starts out as a reluctant friendship quickly turns to something more as a summer creeps to a close. Well, this sounds kind of sweet, but it's not telling me anything about Wattpad Books. I guess I'll just have to look up and see. Let's see about the author. The author's young. Author Kate Marchant started writing on Wattpad 15 years old and now holds a bachelor's degree in creative writing at the University of Southern California. She lives and works in the San Francisco Bay Area. Okay, so maybe there is such a thing as Wattpad Books. If any of you know what that is, feel free to sing out. What else have we got here? What's next? Oh, Library of America. Okay, this is a new volume from Library of America, a new special thing. It's not their typical thing, which is to reprint key works of some canonical American author or a little-known American author. Instead, this is by Edward Hirsch, and it is The Heart of American Poetry. No artwork as to what it's going to look like. It comes out in late April. 500 pages. Looks like $30 or $40. Acclaimed poet and our greatest champion of poetry offers an inspiring and insightful new reading of the American tradition with the heart of American poetry. Uh, Hirsch offers deeply personal readings of 40 essential American poems, ranging from Anne Bradstreet's The Author to Her Book, to Phyllis Wheatley's To S.M., a young African painter, on seeing his works, to Garrett Hongo's Ancestral Graves, Kahuku, to Joy Harjo's Rabbit is Up to Tricks, to explore how these poems have shaped his own life and how they might uplift our life as the diverse nation we have become. Okay, 40 essential American poems. Anne Bradstreet is a woman. Phyllis Wheatley is a woman and was a slave. Garrett Hongo is, I presume, African. And Joy Harjo is Native American. So I know I'm going to regret this, but is this Library of America volume that's coming out a No Whites Need Apply volume? Because let's just check and see. No. That's the pub sheet. The third poem on the table of contents is by Longfellow, then Whitman, then Melville, then Dickinson, Edwin Arlington Robinson, Robert Frost, Wallace Stevens, William Carlos Williams, Ezra Pound, Marianne Moore. Great. Okay, fantastic. So it's just the pub sheets that's virtue signaling, not the book itself. Fantastic. That was going to be very, very depressing. But there you go. I'm dropping paperwork everywhere here. That comes out in April. A new, unconventional Library of America volume. Interesting. Then we have, what we got here? A novel. We've got a novel next. I don't even know what's here. We'll find out together what's here. This is by Lee Cole. It's a debut novel, and it's called Groundskeeping. And I don't have a pub sheet for this, so let's see what we can find. Groundskeeping tells the story of a young woman who takes a job at a local college in rural Kentucky. In exchange of a young man who takes a job at a local college in rural Kentucky. In exchange, he is permitted to enroll in a class at the college. There, much to his surprise, he discovers that he is a writer, and he falls in love. If you're discovering that you're a writer through college class, you're not a writer. Groundskeeping is a coming-of-age story and a love story. It's a story about Kentucky, about America, and about the tenuous connection that some of us have with home. The novel builds inexorably to a shattering event, the kind of tragedy that exiles a young person forever from his childhood. Okay, the pub sheet is ostentatiously going out of its way to avoid identifying the lover. So can we assume that the lover is another man? Who knows? Groundskeeping. Okay, so this comes out in March. And it's a debut. You all know how much I love debuts. That's fantastic. What else have we got here? We've got a lot of other stuff here. Here we've got a hardcover. I know I'm not going to have a date on this. No, I don't. Okay, so I don't know if this is a finished hardcover, so it could be a December release. More likely, I'm thinking January. This is by Hugh Howard, and it's called Architects of an American Landscape. And then there is a 1,000,000-word-long subtitle. Henry Hobson Richardson, Frederick Law Olmsted, and the reimagining of America's public and private spaces. So, okay, all right, okay. Some of you will know both of those structures. All right, so what have we got here? I don't have a sheet, and I don't have a date for it. As America recovered from the cataclysmic Civil War, two titans of design profoundly influenced how Americans come to interact with the built and natural world around them through their pioneering work in architecture and landscape design. Frederick Law Olmsted is widely revered as America's first and finest park maker and devoted environmentalist, the force behind Manhattan's Central Park, Brooklyn's Prospect Park, Biltmore's Parkland in Asheville, dozens of parks across the country, and the preservation of Yosemite and Niagara Falls. No mention of Boston. He made the Emerald Necklace in Boston. Fida and I were walking around for an hour in a Frederick Law Olmsted creation just today. No mention of Boston. What a ripoff. I think I did the same thing for Richardson. Oh, that would be really bad. I was in a Richardson building just yesterday. Yet his close friend and sometime collaborator, Henry Hobson Richardson, has been almost entirely forgotten today, despite his outsized influence on America's architecture, from Boston's iconic Trinity Church. Right, thank you. To Chicago's Marshall Field wholesale store, to the shingle style and the wildly popular open plan he conceived for family homes. Individually, they created much beloved buildings and public spaces. Together, they married natural landscapes with built structures in train stations and public libraries that helped drive the shift in American life from congested cities to developing suburbs across the country. All right, I'm on board. Absolutely, I'm on board. I just don't have anything useful to tell you, but I don't have any kind of date or anything. This next one is also a hardcover, heavily illustrated. My. This is The Lighted Window, Evening Walks Remembered by Peter Davidson, who is a senior research fellow at Oxford. So what have we got here? Homecoming, haunting, nostalgia, desire. These are some of the themes evoked by the beguiling motif of the lighted window in literature and art. In this innovative combination of place writing, memoir, and cultural study, Peter Davidson takes us on an atmospheric walk through the nocturnal cities in Britain, Europe, and North America, and revisits the field paths of rural England. Featuring lighted windows in English culture, in the works of poets such as Thomas Hardy and Matthew Arnold, in the novels of Virginia Woolf, Arthur Conan Doyle, and Kenneth Grahame, in the painting nocturnes of James Whistler, John Atkinson Grimshaw, and the ruralist Samuel Palmer. This illuminating book also considers Japanese prints of the 19th and 20th century, German romanticism in painting, poetry, and music. Good Lord. Okay. This goes on and on and on. But the thing I want to show you here is that it's putting its money where its mouth is. It's full of illustrations. Must have cost a mint to get the rights to do all of this. So it's color and black and white all throughout the book. It's circling around the idea of the lighted window. And I don't know about you, but I have many, many great memories of that myself, all over the world, everywhere that I've traveled, including right up close to home. Lighted windows where it was a black, snowy, sleety, cold, blowing night. You've rounded a corner after a long, long trek, and you can see up ahead of you the lighted window of the place where you are welcome, where the door will be thrown open, where the rooms will be warm, where everything will be safe and comfortable again. I've had memories like that in many, many, many places, including New York City. It's the contrasts are never greater than when you're walking the concrete canyons of New York City in downtown Manhattan. And you're walking along and the wind is howling and you have to go to the bathroom and you're freezing cold right down to your giblets, and you look up and there's a window, and that's where you're going. And it is the definitional pairing between inside and outside, between hostile and welcome. It's a great subject. I can't wait to see what this author does with it. Then this next one, it looks like it has a sheet in it. Oh, great. Thank God it does. All right. This is University of Chicago Press. What have we got here for a date? December 14th. Okay, so this is out already. This is brand new. This is by Paul Deslandis, and it is The Culture of Male Beauty in Britain, from the first photographs to David Beckham. And there's young Wilson on the cover before time had its inexorable way with him. This is all about male beauty in Britain. Rare indeed is the young British man who achieves beauty and then maintains it. But my theory has always been that virtually every young male in Britain does achieve a moment of unbelievable, almost ethereal beauty. But then it goes away. Very, very quickly goes away. It's uncanny. You have to catch the demographic at just the right time, except in rare instances where they stay good looking. But even then, there's a particular moment that never comes again. And David Beckham is a good example. He had it, and I could spot every moment of his day. Every day of his life has been filmed. I could spot the exact moment when that particular bloom disappeared. So what is this? Spinning the decades from the rise of photography to the age of the selfie, this book traces the complex visual and consumer cultures that shaped masculine beauty in Britain, examining the realms of advertising, health, pornography, psychology, sport, and celebrity culture. The author chronicles the shifting standards of male beauty in British culture, from the rising cult of the athlete to changing views on hairlessness. while connecting discussions of youth, fitness, and beauty to growing concerns about race, empire, and degeneracy. Okay, well, this is out already, so it'll be in your bookstores if you're interested in this sort of subject. What kind of illustrations are we talking about here? Oh, okay, there are illustrations all throughout here. I had a feeling this would be one of those books that would have them in a block, but no, there are illustrations all throughout here, including inevitably football. so the culture of male beauty in Britain. Then this we can wrap up with this one. This one I think is also from the University of Chicago Press. That wasn't very helpful. Yeah, I think this is distributed through them. It's Bodleian Library, but I think this is distributed through... boy, okay, we don't have much to go on here, do we? This is an oversized thing. I don't have anything about it. I don't have any information on it at all. No idea when it came out. I'm assuming it's out already. This is Rachel Owen. It is illustrations for Dante's Inferno. And it is done in a collage style. There is midway on life's journey. There are the three animals that confront the narrator in a dark wood. You can know them by their outlines, and maybe is it the actual text that is in there? No, that would be great, but it doesn't. It looks like the text that is included inside the outlines of the animals has nothing to do with the commedia. Okay, so you have collage-style artwork. It'll be very much hit or miss whether or not you like this kind of thing. And the whole thing is dedicated to Rachel Owen, is the photographer involved here, and she died in 2016. She was a Welsh photographer, printmaker, and lecturer in medieval Italian literature. She taught at Pembroke College and other colleges within the University of Oxford, and she mixed photography with printmaking in her work and explored ideas of transformation using photographic screen prints, which I guess is what this is. So you have new illustrations for Dante's Inferno, and there you have it. That is just a batch of new releases that are either out or coming out that you can just sort of think about whether or not some of these things seem to me to be extremely interesting. So you can just think about whether or not these are what we got here, whether or not these are of interest to you. Debut novel, Henry Hobson Richardson and Frederick Law Olmsted in a book, The Heart of American Poetry, which is not just an anthology, but meditations on those poems. We have a YA debut, Float, from Smashwords. That's kind of amazing. We have a new translation with commentary of Seneca, no small thing. So, lots of interesting things that I mean, they'll be of interest to you in varying degrees, but I thought you should see them anyway. So I'm gonna wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.